When the Space Shuttle Endeavour blasted off on its second mission, it carried the first African American woman into space. But Mae Jemison is more than an astronaut. She's also a physician, a Peace Corps volunteer, a teacher, and founder and president of 2 technology companies. Let's take a look at this remarkable woman. Born in Decatur, Alabama, on October 17, 1956, Mae Carol Jemison moved to Chicago at the age of 3 and considers the city her hometown. The youngest of 3 children, born to a maintenance worker and an elementary school teacher, she would have a fascination with science and dance from an early age. Jemison began studying ballet at the age of 8 or 9 and entered high school at 12 years old, where she joined the cheerleading team and the modern dance club. She learned several styles of dance, including African and Japanese, as well as ballet, jazz, and modern dance. As a child, Jemison had aspirations of becoming a professional dancer. At the age of 14, she auditioned for the leading role of Maria in West Side Story. She did not get the leading role but was selected as a background dancer. After graduating from Chicago's Morgan Park High School in 1973, Jemison entered Stanford University at the age of 16. Although she was too young to be leaving home for college, Jemison later said it did not faze her because she was naive and stubborn enough. There were very few other African American students in Jemison's classes, and she continued to experience discrimination from her teachers. In an interview with the Des Moines Register in 2008, Jemison said that it was difficult to go to Stanford at 16, but that her youthful arrogance may have helped her. She asserted that some arrogance is necessary for women and minorities to be successful in a white male-dominated society. At Stanford, Jemison served as head of the Black Students Union. She also choreographed a musical and dance production called Out of the Shadows. During her senior year in college, she struggled with the choice between going to medical school or pursuing a career as a professional dancer after graduation. She graduated from Stanford in 1977, receiving a BS degree in chemical engineering and a BA degree in African and African American studies. While at Stanford, she also pursued studies related to her childhood interest in space and first considered applying to NASA. Jemison served on the board of directors of the World Sickle Cell Foundation from 1990 to 1992. In 1993, she founded the Jemison Group Incorporated, a consulting firm which considers the socio-cultural impact of technological advancements and design. Jemison also founded the Dorothy Jemison Foundation for Excellence and named the foundation in honor of her mother. One of the projects of the foundation is The Earth We Share, a science camp for students aged 12 to 16. Founded in 1994, camps have been held at Dartmouth College, Colorado School of Mines, Choate Rosemary Hall, and other sites in the United States, as well as internationally in South Africa, Tunisia, and Switzerland. The Dorothy Jemison Foundation also sponsors other events and programs, including the Shaping the World Essay Competition, Listening to the Future, a survey program that targets obtaining opinions from students, Earth Online, an online chat room that allows students to safely communicate and discuss ideas on space and science, and the Reality Leads Fantasy Gala. Jemison was a professor of environmental studies at Dartmouth College from 1995 to 2002, where she directed the Jemison Institute for Advancing Technology in Developing Countries. In 1999, she also became an Andrew D. White Professor at Large at Cornell University. Jemison continues to advocate strongly in favor of science education and getting minority students interested in science. She is a member of various scientific organizations such as the American Medical Association, American Chemical Society, the Association of Space Explorers, and the American Association for the Advancement of Science. In 1999, Jemison founded Biosentient Corp. and obtained the license to commercialize AFTE, the technique she and Maury tested on themselves during STS-47. In 2012, Jemison made the winning bid for the DARPA 100-Year Starship Project through the Dorothy Jemison Foundation for Excellence. The Dorothy Jemison Foundation for Excellence was awarded a $500,000 grant for further work. The new organization maintained the organizational name 100-Year Starship. Jemison is the current principal of the 100-Year Starship. In 2018, she collaborated with the Bayer Crop Science and National 4-H Council for the initiative named Science Matters, which was aimed at encouraging young children to understand and pursue agricultural sciences. Jemison wrote a book called Find Where the Wind Goes in 2001. The book is a memoir of her life, but is written for children. She talks about her childhood, her time at Stanford, in the Peace Corps, and an astronaut. Jemison also co-authored a book series called Her, a true book series of 4 children's books published in 2013. This is co-authored with Dana Meachin. Among all the accomplishments of Mae Jemison, she even made it to the bright lights of television. LeVar Burton learned that Jemison was an avid Star Trek fan and asked her if she would be interested in being on the show. So, in 1993, Jemison appeared as Lieutenant Palmer in Second Chances, an episode of the science fiction television series Star Trek: The Next Generation, becoming the first real-life astronaut to appear on Star Trek. From 1995 to 2005, Jemison was appointed an Andrew Dickson White Professor at Large at Cornell University. So, now Jemison is an active public speaker who appears before private and public groups promoting science and technology. Having been an astronaut gives me a platform, says Jemison, but I'd blow it if I just talked about the shuttle. Jemison uses her platform to speak out on the gap in the quality of healthcare between the United States and the Third World. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't just have a dream, he got things done. Jemison has also appeared as a host and technical consultant of the Discovery Channel science series World of Wonder. In 2006, Jemison participated in African American Lives, a PBS television miniseries hosted by Henry Louis Gates Jr. that traces the family history of 8 famous African Americans using historical research and genetic techniques. Jemison found to her surprise that she is 13% East Asian in her genetic makeup. She also learned that some of her paternal ancestors were slaves at a plantation in Talladega County, Alabama. In May of 2007, she was the graduation commencement speaker and only the 11th person in the 52-year history of Harvey Mudd College to be awarded an honorary doctorate of engineering degree. In 2008, Jemison was the featured speaker for the 100th anniversary of the founding of the Alpha Kappa Alpha, the first sorority established by African American college women. Jemison paid tribute to Alpha Kappa Alpha by carrying the sorority's banner with her on her shuttle flight. Her spacesuit is a part of the sorority's National Traveling Centennial exhibit. Jemison is an honorary member of Alpha Kappa Alpha. Jemison would go on to participate with First Lady Michelle Obama in a forum for promising girls in the Washington, D.C. public schools in March of 2009. In 2017, Lego released the Woman of NASA set with minifigures of Jemison, Margaret Hamilton, Sally Ride, and Nancy Grace Roman. With all of Jemison's great achievements and her status as a national icon in this country, it would be remiss not to mention the sad event that occurred in the spring of 1996, and this is the reason why I saved it for last, so that we could see that her greatness is even more magnified since she has accomplished such great heights in the face of the racism that unfortunately still exists in this great country of ours. In the spring of 1996, Jemison filed a complaint against a Texas police officer, accusing him of police brutality during a traffic stop that ended in her arrest. She was pulled over by Nassau Bay police officer Henry Hughes for allegedly making an illegal U-turn, and arrested after Hughes learned of an outstanding warrant on Jemison for a speeding ticket. In the process of arresting her, the officer twisted her wrist and forced her to the ground, as well as having her walk barefooted from the patrol car into the police station. In her complaint, Jemison said the officer physically and emotionally mistreated her. Jemison's attorney said she believed she already paid the speeding ticket years ago. She spent several hours in jail and was treated at an area hospital after release for deep bruises and a head injury. The Nassau Bay police officer was suspended with pay pending an investigation, but the police investigation cleared him of wrongdoing. She filed a lawsuit against the city of Nassau Bay and the officer. Although initially relieved of his duty, the officer, after quote-unquote internal affairs investigation was conducted, they found that the arrest was lawful and routine in nature, and no evidence was found to prove the use of excessive force, verbal abuse, or other mistreatment. So, in layman's terms, the officer walked, and unfortunately, this is a theme that occurs in many instances where African Americans, even prominent African Americans, get involved with law enforcement. If some of you remember, a similar issue took place with the aforementioned Dr. Henry Louis Gates, where he was arrested and had a lawsuit against the police, but the police was somehow found to be just simply performing their duties. However, that was in 1996, and Mrs. Jemison showed her resilience. And now, even fast forwarding to 2020, Dr. Mae Jemison is still active in her life's long work. As a matter of fact, she will be speaking in Frederick, Maryland, at the Weinberg Center for the Arts on Thursday, February 20th, 2020 at 7:30 p.m. So if you want to come and support Dr. Mae Jemison, come and see her speak. She will be in Maryland at the Frederick, Maryland at the Weinberg Center of the Arts on Thursday, February 20th, 2020 at 7:30 p.m. And she will be talking about the frontiers of science and human potential as her subject. So if you live in that area and you want to see Mrs. Jemison in person, definitely go and support her. Thank you for watching this video, and please click the subscribe button and like buttons, and also please click the links below in order to support my channel via PayPal or Patreon. And I'll see you soon on the next video.